All right, we're live. What's up, guys? Dan from the Headwaters Kayak Shop, and I'm up here in the Reading shop. And behind me, I've got the Pelican Trailblazer 100. I am doing a 5 kayaks under $300 review over on my YouTube page, and this was one of the ones that I picked up. And we had the pool here in Reading. It's 105, so I said, what the heck? Let's get in this thing and see what we can do. See if we can stand in it, see if we can roll it. Just screw around. So we're going to be building a deck so it's easier to get in and out of this thing, but for now, we've got the old ladder. So I reviewed this thing this morning, and actually paddle's pretty decent for what it is, like a little, entry-level basic 10-foot kayak. Stability-wise, it's pretty darn good. It's got a good secondary stability. I mean, I can lean that thing way over, as long as my head stays over my belly button. You can lean this boat way over. Now, when people talk about boats being tippy, a lot of times they're talking about boats rolling from an initial stability to a secondary stability. And the whole key to kayaking in general is keeping your nose over your belly button. As long as you can do that, most boats you can lean them way the heck over and they'll be solid as long as you're here. As soon as your head goes over here, you better have a brace ready, because the weight of your head is like the weight of a bowling ball. And as it goes off to the side, that's a lot of weight that you're expecting that, the edge of the kayak to hold. There you go. So basically, even me at 230 pounds in this little 10-foot kayak, I can lean this thing all the way over to water, basically is pouring into the cockpit before it, and it still feels stable. So the secondary is pretty huge on this little boat. It does have a V-shaped bottom, so let's see how it would be to stand up in it. Again, don't try this at home. I am a paid professional. Yes, they pay me to do this kind of goofy stuff. I'm going to explode this pool. That was a dumb idea. All right, yeah, it's like rough seas out here. I did not expect, that was stupid. Of course the waves are going to be huge. Anyway, pretty stable, I'd say. I definitely am getting some water in the cockpit. One thing I'll say about this little Trailblazer that concerns me for people that are buying it is that this little tank well area in the back, if you get water back here, it just drains directly into your cockpit. So there's really, like if you have a kid or a dog or somebody back there, or any sort of waves at all, like basically if it gets above that back deck, it's in here with you. And what I'm going to show you in a minute, I'm going to tip this thing over on purpose. And there's no real way to like get the water out. This thing will fill. So, I mean, so far, I don't think I have enough room to roll this kayak. I was hoping I could roll it for you guys, but I don't see how I can do it without hitting the side. Maybe if I take my paddle in half. Try that. Should be good. Let me move this ladder. Can you move this ladder out of the way, Brian?
Yeah.
I feel like I want to roll it, but it's not a lot of room here.
Well, here, you can roll one side.
See if I can get my, there you go.
Stuff yourself in
Bend the plastic up and give myself some thigh braces here. All right, dude, I'm gonna try this thing. Ready? Don't help me though, I don't want any help.
I'm just gonna kind of keep you.
I mean, we'll see if I can even flip it over and keep my knees engaged.
Whenever you're ready.
Oh my gosh. It's got so much water in there. Oh. I'm kind of stuck, but I'm all right. Could you imagine being in the middle of the lake?
We're on the river?
Oh, well, the river, I mean, I hope nobody would take this thing on the river. That goes without saying. But even in like the middle of a lake, if you're further than you want to swim,
what do you do?
You're swimming. I mean, I don't know. I'm going to try to, without putting my feet on the floor. I mean, you really can't. There's not enough air volume in the boat.
You're done, dude. How are we going to get it out of the pool?
Well, I can push off the bottom to get it out of the pool. Like, at least in a canoe, you can create air pockets and get it out.
You're going to work your way back up.
So basically, moral to this story, don't Don't take this further offshore than you're ready to swim, because it just fills up with water. There's no buoyancy besides little pieces of foam. There's no buoyancy built into this boat. So when I pick up the front, the water just drains to the back. Vice versa, when I pick up the front or the back, it drains to the front. Whereas if a kayak, oh man, if a kayak has some sort of a bulkhead, then you've got a sealed in air compartment, and then you can lift up the front, push up against that buoyancy, empty the water out of the cockpit. I don't know how I'm getting this out of the pool, Brian. I didn't think that far ahead.
That's all you, man. Good luck. You want to grab a boat with bulkheads?
Well, my stickers are coming. Yeah, you know what? We should grab like a, you have a Sky 10 or something small?
Yeah.
Just to keep the conversation going. Yeah, I stood up in it, I bounced, and it was like rough seas that just, this is fun. I gotta try to empty this out. So it's important to know your boat's limitations, you guys. If you got a cheap kayak like this, just know, like, don't be taking it out on Lake Tahoe. Don't go out in big open conditions. Play with it close to shore. They're totally fine for what they are, but they're not fine for open water use or any sort of river situations, because if that were to flip over the river, you know, it's just going to fill with water and be gone and end up getting trapped somewhere. But it is rollable. You see that roll?
Yeah, that's awesome.
I can't believe that actually worked. All right, so now I've got an Eddie Sky 10, and I'm going to talk to you a little bit about bulkheads. Kind of see here? That's a sealed compartment. So if a kayak has hatches, it doesn't always have bulkheads, but in theory, if it has a hatch, it should have a bulkhead. But I know there's a lot of kayaks and box stores nowadays that don't have that bulkhead, that just has a hatch that goes through. And again, if the water goes all the way through, you got a kayak full of water. So let's we try to get into this one here. This one's got a little better cockpit. Just gonna brace it up out. That's better. Let me get my foot pedals adjusted here. I got a midget here last time.
Cool. Stick your bulkhead.
No, that's good. I got it.
Good.
All right, I'm gonna try to roll this one. Again, no skirt, but I think you're gonna find a very different outcome. Hopefully. All right, ready, set?
Go ahead.
All right, there you go. Able to roll it, probably just as hard. But here's the biggest deal. Now, I can go to the front of my boat, pick up the front, empty the water out as best I can. But because of those bulkheads, I only have water from here to here. So if I want to, I can just empty the water out, and now I've got a boat that I can get back into. Or if I wasn't able to reach the bottom and I had water in the boat, I could use my paddle. Let me just put this together. I could use my paddle across the back with the paddle float. I had a paddle float out here and use it like an outrigger, get back into my kayak, bail the water out, and still be able to paddle it to shore without having to, to swim it or to have to deal with a fully submerged kayak. So just for fun, let's try to get this thing as full of water as I absolutely can. All right. There you go. Whoa! All right, that is full. Did I get water in the front hatch? No, still has air buoyancy in the front. Cockpit's full of water. Watch what we can do. Flip it over, let all that water drain out, and now I've got a kayak that's high, out of the water. I can get in. Woo. If I wasn't a 200-pound heifer. Oh, baby. Kayak that fits me. This little 10-foot boat actually doesn't have a lot of blows. Try that one more time, this time with feeling. There we go. I don't know if that was helpful or not. Definitely easy to work with a boat with a little bit of flotation. Definitely gives you something to hold on to if you're out of your boat. And at least you have some buoyancy in the boat to keep yourself afloat or to swim it to shore or whatever. Well, that was fun. That was really all I wanted to do. Just play around with some boats, do some stability checks. This little Eddy Line Sky 10, kind of geared for a way smaller person than me. And again, you guys look for those review videos. I'll have those coming out probably in the next week or two. We went up to Lake McCumber. I bought 5 kayaks that were all under 300 bucks. Put them all in the water, tested them all out, had a great time, and give you guys my honest feedback about those. Looks like a floating coffin. I'm gonna pull off and just read some of your guys' comments. It's soaking wet here, but we love having a pool in the shop. It's like a complete mental reboot when it's 105 degrees outside to be able to jump in this pool. So good. Have you done a review of the Ascends from Bass Pro? I have not. Probably should. Here's the deal, you guys. It's hard because I have to buy all these boats out of my own budget to review them. It's not like Bass Pro Shops wants to send me boats to review. So I'm kind of selective with what I review. Or if somebody has a boat and they let me use it, that's always nice. But who knows, maybe someday Bass Pro Shops will send me a batch of kayaks to let me review. But I'm kind of hesitant to go in there because I feel like my thing with the Ascend kayaks is that they're not that much less than the kayaks we sell. And they're definitely not any better. Like the quality, the performance of the boats is pretty poor. So like, why should I spend $7.99 or $6.99 on an Ascend when you could buy a Big Fish or a Vibe Sea Ghost or something like that that's way better quality? I guess maybe to tell that story is why you would do it. Let's see what else. Thanks for the deal last week. Yep, no problem. Happy to help you out. Yeah, it's slippery. That was actually terrible. I should have got a boat that fit me. It didn't really tell the story I wanted to tell, but it doesn't really matter. It's all in fun, all in playing in boats. Definitely fun playing in that little guy. I can't believe we were able to roll that little Trailblazer. That thing was $189. Green goods. So I got that one. I got one for $159 that I paddled. Got a little Perception. I don't know. Oh, like I said, I'll post that video up soon. Anyways, you guys, thanks for watching. I'm going to actually hit the road. I've got to go back to Lodi. We've got some orders coming in tomorrow, and then we got the new Maloney's tournament this weekend. So I will be in the shop. If you guys need anything, hit us up. Till next time, this is Dan wishing you happy paddling. We'll see you on the next one.